Welcome, friends, to Echo Tales World, where the dust of the frontier settles into stories that grip the heart and stir the soul. Saddle up and ride with us to the Montana Territory of 1876, where a lonely cowboy named Levi Colton found his world upended by a wagon carrying not one, but two women claiming to be his destined bride. This ain't just a love story, it's a tale of betrayal, family secrets, and a twist that left the plains whispering for years. Crafted for those who crave the drama and courage of the Old West, this story's for you, whether you're 60 or 16, so settle by the firelight and let the tale unfold. Levi Colton was a man carved from the rugged bones of the frontier. At 34, he was broad-shouldered, with hands calloused from years of wrangling cattle and a face weathered by sun and solitude. His ranch, a modest spread along Bitter Creek, was his sanctuary, a log cabin, a barn, and 100 head of longhorns grazing under the wide Montana sky. But the nights were long, and the silence heavier than his old saddle. Levi had lost his family young, parents to cholera, a brother to a saloon brawl, and the ache for connection drove him to a mail-order bride agency in St. Louis. For 6 months, he'd exchanged letters with Miss Clara Mayfield, a woman of 26 whose words were warm as a summer breeze, promising a life of shared laughter and hard work. Levi built a new room onto the cabin, planted roses by the porch, and waited, his heart daring to hope. The stage was due at noon, and Levi stood at the crossroads, his best shirt starched, his hat brushed clean, his gray eyes scanning the horizon. His dog, Scout, a scruffy mutt with a loyal heart, panted at his side. The wagon rolled in, dust swirling, and Levi's pulse quickened. The door opened, and not one, but two women stepped down, identical as reflections in a still pond. Both had golden hair pinned in neat buns, blue eyes bright as the sky, and wore matching calico dresses, one in green, one in blue. Each carried a small valise, and each fixed Levi with a smile that faltered when they saw each other. "I'm Clara Mayfield," said the woman in green, her voice soft but firm. "Your bride, Mr. Colton." "No, I'm Clara Mayfield," said the woman in blue, her tone sharper, stepping forward. "You wrote to me." Levi's jaw dropped, Scout tilting his head as if equally baffled. The women turned on each other, eyes flashing. "You're lying." Green Clara snapped. "I've got his letters." She pulled a bundle from her valise, tied with twine. Blue Clara produced an identical bundle. "So do I." He described the ranch, the roses, "my roses." Levi raised his hands, voice steady despite his confusion. "Ladies, hold on. There's been a mistake. I only wrote to one Clara Mayfield. Let's sort this out at the ranch." The ride was tense, the women glaring from opposite ends of the wagon, Levi driving in silence. At the cabin, he offered coffee and cornbread, studying the pair. They were mirror images, same delicate nose, same freckle on the left cheek, but their manners differed. Green Clara was gentle, her hands folding nervously, her smile hesitant. Blue Clara was bold, her gaze direct, her words quick. Both knew details from his letters, the name of his horse, Juniper, the way he described the creek's murmur at dusk. Levi's head spun. Was this a prank? A scam? "I ain't marrying two women," he said finally. "One of you's telling the truth. I need to know which." Green Clara spoke first. "I'm from Springfield, like I wrote. My folks passed, left me nothing. I came for a new start, Levi." Blue Clara scoffed. "Springfield? That's my story. I'm Clara Mayfield, orphaned, ready to build a life here." "She's an imposter." Levi rubbed his temples. "Stay the night, separate rooms. I'll telegraph the agency tomorrow." That night, as the wind howled and Scout slept by the hearth, Levi couldn't shake the unease. The women's letters were identical, word for word, as if copied. He locked his bedroom door, his Colt close. At dawn, he rode to Dusty Hollow, the nearest town, and wired St. Louis. The reply was swift: Clara Mayfield, one bride, sent to Montana. No record of second applicant. Back at the ranch, trouble brewed. Green Clara, calling herself Clara now, helped with chores, her hands deft at milking the cow, her voice soft as she sang hymns. Blue Clara, insisting on being called Clara too, was sharper, demanding answers, her eyes darting to the horizon. Levi caught her rifling through his desk, claiming she sought paper to write home. Suspicion grew, but so did a spark. Clara, Green, had a warmth that stirred him, her laughter easing the ache he'd carried too long. On the third day, hoofbeats shattered the peace. For riders, led by a man in a black duster. Silas Kane, a bounty hunter with a scar splitting his brow, stormed the yard. "Where's Clara Mayfield?" Kane barked, his pistol drawn. "She's wanted for theft, stole a fortune from a St. Louis banker." Both women froze, but Blue Clara's face paled. "You got the wrong woman," she stammered, backing toward the barn. Kane's eyes narrowed. "Clara Mayfield, alias Rose Carver. I know my quarry." He tossed a wanted poster, showing Blue Clara's face, though the name read Rose. Levi stepped forward, rifle raised. "No one's taking anybody till I know the truth." Green Clara, clutched Levi's arm. "She's my sister," she whispered, voice breaking. "My twin, Rose. I didn't know she'd followed me. She's troubled. Always chasing schemes." Rose's mask cracked, tears spilling. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Clara. The banker cheated me, us. I took what was owed, came to find you. I read your letters, copied them. I just wanted a piece of your dream." Kane advanced, but Levi blocked him. "This is my land. You want her, you go through me." The standoff erupted. Kane's men drew, bullets splintering the porch. Levi fired back, dropping one rider. Clara grabbed a pitchfork, swinging at another, while Rose, desperate, snatched Levi's spare revolver from the cabin, her shots wild but enough to scatter the horses. Scout's barking added to the chaos, nipping at heels. Kane, cursing, took a bullet to the shoulder and fled with his remaining man, vowing revenge. In the quiet aftermath, blood and dust mingling, Levi faced the twins. "Rose, you've got crimes to answer for." "Clara, you knew?" Clara nodded, eyes downcast. "I suspected when I saw her. She's my sister, Levi. I couldn't turn her away." Rose stepped forward, handing over the revolver. "Take me to town. I'll face it. Just, don't hate her for my sins." Levi's heart twisted. He saw Clara's loyalty, Rose's regret, the bond of sisters, flawed but fierce. "No one's going nowhere yet," he said. "We'll figure this out." They rode to Dusty Hollow, Levi turning Rose over to Sheriff Tolliver, a fair man who promised a proper trial. The stolen fortune, hidden in Rose's valise, was returned to St. Louis, earning her leniency, a year in jail, not a noose. Clara stayed, her presence a balm to Levi's lonely heart. They worked the ranch side by side, her hymns blending with his quiet whistles, the roses blooming brighter each day. Months later, a letter came from Rose, free and starting anew in California, her words heavy with gratitude. Levi and Clara married under a cottonwood, the creek singing their vows. The ranch grew, a haven for strays and kin, their love a fire kindled in betrayal's ashes. By 1882, Levi looked out at Clara tending the garden, Scout chasing a butterfly, the hills alive with promise. The wagon had brought 2 brides, but only one held his heart, a woman whose loyalty outshone her sister's shadow. The frontier, wild and unforgiving, taught him that love writes its own rules, and sometimes, the heart's truth is the greatest twist of all. So, friends, as the embers fade and your eyelids droop, let Bitter Creek's tale linger. In the Old West, where deception rides with destiny, a cowboy's heart can find its home in the most unexpected faces. Sleep deep, you lovers of the trail, and may your own secrets lead to love's true dawn.